Dear President Trump, my name is Dr. Cami Lawrence. I'm a journalist, pharmacist, and PR specialist. It's the 28th of January, 2025. I worked with you as a blogger during The Apprentice in 2003, and I also met you at the Trump Plaza Hotel during the Broadcast Foundation Awards, where I was a co-host, and I stayed at your hotel. Today, you are the President of the United States, and this is an open letter to you, President Trump. You recently put a freeze on all aid to many countries around the world, and there's a lot of information coming out of Africa with regards to the aid we get from the United States, specifically for programs like malaria and HIV. President Trump, my children are Americans, and you always say make America great again and America first. I've got a 38-year-old who's autistic, high functioning. I've got a 33-year-old and I've got a 24-year-old. My children are hard workers and they work multiple jobs. At the end of the day, yes, America first. I'm Nigerian. And at the end of the day, we have to look at what's going on in Nigeria. President Obama once gave us $2.5 billion to fight Boko Haram, the terror group. Instead, our leaders used the money to fund an election, President Jonathan, to be specific, and they shared it amongst themselves. That situation has caused distrust in the people and the leaders. 2 weeks ago, the FBI returned close to $55 million, proceeds of corruption from a former oil minister, Mrs. Dizani Allison Madueke, who has fled from Nigeria. The FBI tweeted on the handle that the money was returned in an agreement with the Nigerian government that it is for the Nigerian people. Every single money that's been returned to Nigeria, President Trump, we do not see it. It does not reach the people. It is shared by our leaders. From the federal government to the state government to the local government, they share the money. They don't even leave a dime for the people. The Paris refunds and the London refunds, everything, we saw nothing. Money shared between state governors. President Trump, I'm a CVS ProCare pharmacist. I'm one of the first 6 pioneer pharmacists in that program. That is the HIV and the fertility drug program from CVS, the largest drugstore in America. And therefore, I'm an AIDS expert. 35 years as a pharmacist, 31 years as a journalist, and 28 years as a PR specialist. In looking at all 3 of my profession and what's going on with regards to AIDS funding in Africa, I'm not going to talk about another country. I'm only going to talk about Nigeria. But while I am at it, South Africa is very impacted right now, and I feel that South Africa has the resources to fund their own HIV treatment programs. Nigeria also has those resources. We are a country of 200 million with oil and gas. A lot of rich resources, golds in some parts, and we still cannot fund our own medical programs. Just like Ibrahim Traore, the young president of Burkina Faso, said, we have been receiving aid from France for 60 years and we're still poor. Tonight I was watching a sermon by Joel Osteen, the pastor of Lakewood Church in Houston, and the sermon talks about a country called Congo, one of the poorest in the world, he said. He was trying to do a talk in the sermon about Dikembe Mutombo, the late NBA player who lived in Houston, played for the Rockets, and how he came from a poor country called Congo, the poorest in the world. President Trump, how can Congo be the poorest country in the world when it's filled with diamonds, uranium, gold, name it? The mineral resource is in Congo. It's possibly the richest in the world when you look at it, but everything in there doesn't reach the people. And that's what I'm telling you, President Trump. Everybody watching this video must tag President Trump. It is very important. CNBC, Bloomberg, all the financial channels must watch this video. Let's go back to Nigeria. President Trump, you are giving us an average of $65 million a year for HIV programs. A lot of Nigerians today saw it on a blog called Instablog. And in the comments, people were commenting, we get that. Do we really get this money? Many Nigerians don't know we get funding from you in America for our HIV programs. I know we get it. I closely monitor the health portals in Nigeria and the health parastatals. The health parastatals are the biggest looters in Nigeria, namely the Federal Ministry of Health, the NAFDAC agency, the NDIC, it's called the National Disease Control Agency, all of them. They're the shadiest. We got money for COVID. We got money for Ebola. The $30 million remaining from the Ebola money we got was looted, was shared. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission of Nigeria, EFCC, has never thought about going to investigate the health parastatal and the health sector. They tried to arrest somebody after the Ebola case, but the person ran out through the back door. Let Nigeria fund its own health programs. We are here. We can educate people about malaria and HIV. We don't need funding from America. Stop giving us the money. President Trump. Nigerian girls 18 to 25 are laying down on the streets and hotel lobbies. And when I say laying down, they're really lined up there to pick up men. They are spreading HIV across Nigeria and Africa. I raised the alarm in 2022 to the Lagos State Ministry of Health that HIV is very rampant in Lekki, Lagos, the island, the entertainment center, and where all the parties and big hotels are. The Lagos State Ministry of Health started following me on Twitter, and they looked into it. It's very serious. They have not educated people about HIV. We have the money. We don't need the funding from America. If the Ministry of Health and the federal and the Lagos State Ministry of Health can educate people about HIV, education is also prevention. It is being spread rapidly. As I speak to you now, President Trump, HIV is now number 1 in Ghana for Africa. Number 2, South Africa. Number 3, Nigeria. Ghana has a very high population of Nigerian girls on the streets, prostituting, in the Ubers, going to hookups, and then a lot of whorehouses all over Kasua in Ghana. We can educate our girls away from prostitution. Don't give us money for HIV. We can prevent HIV. Until the Nigerian government, the First Lady, the Women's Affairs Commissioner, the diaspora ministers see what is going on, how Nigerian girls are importing HIV to Ghana and other countries and lining up the streets in Nigeria and Lagos, Abuja and all that, nothing changes. Keep your money, America, and use it for America first. I'm Dr. Kemi.